We're back at Cricbuzz Live and we have a beaming Michael Vaughan with us and with him, Gilly. When Michael's smiling, we know that England has done very well. They have gotten USA out for 115 and Chris Jordan has gotten a hat-trick. Almost at home, one can say quite literally at home. We're here to talk about what happened in that innings. Michael, I can see that smile on your face. You're a happy man.
Well, I'm going to interject there. He's also normally has a smile on his face when Australia's doing badly, not just when England are doing well. So he's been smiling all day, like a Cheshire cat.
Can't rub it off his face.
I've had a cracking day so far. I mean, it can't get any better than this. Professional. We get the wicket in the first over and then... I thought Rashid really did the damage in that middle. Those two googlies that were through the gate, and then Jordan with 4 hat-trick. They're giving away hat-tricks these days.
Yes.
Hat-trick for Pat. He's got 2 in 2 games. So, yeah, England very professional. This is, I would think, the pitch is just doing a little bit for the spinners, a bit of tail there for Chris Jordan, but I'd expect England to chase that down quite quickly.
But Gilly, www. Is what Chris Jordan got. I think he can get a domain for his website now.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, that's so impressive. Yes, it's the tail end. It's the last or second to last over of the innings. But, that reads beautifully. But it was high skill.
Yes.
It was everything you'd hope. He's been sitting on the bench for a while, gets an opportunity, and now, creates a little bit of a headache really for the England selectors as they move forward into the what will be the semi-finals. But he's just such a reliable character, isn't he? He just seems to be able to do that whenever called on. And then you see him in the field.
Yeah, he doesn't drop them.
Doesn't drop them, and he takes spectacular catches, athleticism, and then, if needed, and it won't be required today, but at some stage, if ever he's needed for a handy little cameo at the back end, I've seen him do it a number of times in Big Bash cricket.
Yes.
Really,
I hope he's not required today.
He will not be required today.
If I was Mark Wood, these guys play so much cricket and they're obviously multi-format players. If I was Mark Wood, I'd be going to the coach saying, "Is there any Duke balls? Any red balls for me to practice for the West Indies Test match series?"
You don't see him coming.
I thought you were going to say I'd be going to the beach.
Well, he'll do that as well. But
sandals.
You've got to think, if they go to the semi-final, this is going to be the team.
Yeah, I'll stay in Barbados.
And with what he's just delivered in Barbados, Chris Jordan, you'd think if they get to the final, he's going to play in the final. So, I'm afraid Mark Wood, unless there's an injury, I'll be getting the Duke ball and practicing for the Test series now.
But just Chris Jordan, we spoke about it just before we went on air. We saw a little bit of reverse towards the end as well. And you said, high class is what we saw from Chris Jordan. Yeah,
that's skill, really skill to execute it so perfectly. Top order players finding that hard to keep out or to be really aggressive against anyway. So, the stats to come in, dot balls, what's he only bowled 17 balls in total. And when you get 4 wickets, that's 4 dots straight away, isn't it? But brilliant, a really nice addition.
Do you think teams now, I look at this venue, Barbados, look at the way that the pitch played against India, Afghanistan. And I've just seen the pitch here. This is a US team that are just okay. I go to the final on Saturday, and if it's the same kind of conditions, I'm batting first. If you see a little bit of tail and there's plenty of spin, this is a dry surface. I think runs on the board. When you've got 2 high-class teams, I think you have to bat first at this venue.
Agreed, totally. It had a different feel in the day-night game there, or the night game, when the West Indies pummeled the US. And in the later second part of that game, it did come on quite nicely. Yeah, it does, but it's chalk and cheese between the morning and the evening game, no doubt about it.
Well, we saw what Chris Jordan did. Sam Curran got those 2 wickets. He was on the more expensive side, though, and you'd called it. You said Rashid will get a few wickets with his wrong one. So we saw Rashid get those 2 wickets. Sam Curran was bowling more balls at the back of the hand than normal deliveries today.
Yeah, again, he's been a good addition. He kind of stumbled into the side when they played that 11-over game against Namibia. And he's got great variations, obviously offers a bit with the bat, left hand as well. But Rashid is the king of that bowling attack. He's bowling... Well, he's got it on... his record came up at bowling in Barbados. He loves bowling now, and he's just got it on a string. He's got all the tricks. He's got that one out the front of the hand. And he almost set the right-handers up, just threw a couple out there, and he just went, "Thank you very much." So I'll throw up the googly a little bit higher. You've got to try and take on the shot. And the gate was quite wide open. So... Yeah, he's a special bowler. I just actually tweeted about it. Rashid Khan, I said earlier, is number one pick in the world. I'm just staggered that he's not an absolute shoe-in for, particularly here in the IPL.
Yes.
You know, not just in a team squad, but actually getting in an 11. I'm staggered that he's not a big pick.
Well, he really choked that middle order and didn't give them anything at all, Gilly.
He certainly didn't. Right from, he comes on 7th over so often. If it's a game situation where runs have hemorrhaged a bit in the power play, he usually slows it down. Today, he just strangled them. It wasn't an explosive power play by any stretch, but they did look like they had glimpses, didn't they, the US, that they might be able to just throw a little counter punch here and get up to that 140, 150. They were always going to need to follow up that opening stanza well, but Rashid just shut it down. I think special mention to Liam Livingstone too.
Yes.
He just went for 24 off his 4 overs for, I guess, slightly more than a part-timer, but just showed his versatility, showed again that this England team, when they've got all the wheels and cogs are moving in the right direction, like they did against the West Indies, and they've too inconsistently shown over that period of time over the last 2 to 3 years, when it is running smoothly, there's so many options, and Josh can look anywhere and come up with an option.
Oh,
Rashid's now the leading wicket taker for England in T20 cricket, alongside Stuart Broad. I was actually staggered when I saw Stuart Broad's name at the top of the list. I was like, I just don't remember him getting so many wickets. I knew when they won it in Barbados many years ago, he got a few of those slow ball bouncers. But Rashid's just right at the top there with Stuart Broad.
But like you said, Buttler had so many options. Moeen Ali wasn't even used today. He didn't need them. Yeah.
No,
He caught well.
He caught very well. Yes.
Backward point. He took a good catch.
But it's just the amount of options he has, and then Chris Jordan finishing it off for them. But you all were happy with the way Josh Buttler just got in the bowlers at the correct time. We saw Adil Rashid come in the 7th over, use his bowlers well. Yeah,
I think so. I think he stuck with Reece Topley at the top of the innings there, even though he was a little bit expensive. But it was good to see him at least get that 1 wicket. I'm not sure whether he'd had a wicket prior in the tournament, but he certainly has done it. He adds that variety as well. So the left arm, he caused a few little issues early on, but just got picked up down the ground from Nitish Kumar. But I think they look fantastic, and they should just close this out with relative ease and roll into those semis with great confidence.
But America started off really well. We saw them, going and attacking from the word go. Andreas Gus didn't get going today. But if you see that 1 to 6 overs, it's 8 runs in that first session. So clearly that worked for America. But England really pulled things back very well.
Yeah, that's what we mentioned, that power play. That's a nice enough foundation to work from. Maybe 1 wicket too many, 1 for 48. You're saying, OK, we're in the game. But look at that next little phase there, that run rate. That's where the squeeze came. And although
that's where Rashid came.
Yeah, and that's only the 1 wicket in that little period. But if you're going at 4 and over only, your wickets are going to come later on because of the desperation.
Yeah. But I hear it all the time when teams, and this is in the Big Bash in the IPL, when Rashid Khan comes on the ball, I hear it a lot, just see him out. If you can get 4 overs of Rashid Khan, you get 0 for 22, 0 for 24, you'd take that. I never hear it about Adil Rashid. And I would do one of 2 things I'd do to Adil Rashid. I'd have someone who can strike at him at number 7. The 7th over that he pretty much always, 7th or 8th over, you guarantee he's going to be bowling. Don't bowl in the power play. So you need a player that you could have around that period to absolutely hit his first over, or you accept 20 off 4 and don't lose any wickets to him. It's one or the other.
The only way you can derail him is the first over.
I think you can, yeah. But it's a big risk because he's skillful and he's got all the tricks. But it's sometimes worth. And I have seen him have days where that first over is gone, and any bowler who gets hit in the first over, you're always chasing it, or you just accept all the field out and you knock him around and just don't give him any wickets.
Well, they attacked Reece Topley up at the top, but then they kept losing those wickets. We also saw Nitish Kumar get that start. We saw Corey Anderson get 29 today. But Corey Anderson has been a disappointment all through this World Cup, considering his experience that he comes with.
Yeah, he had plenty of international and IPL experience out of that team. Nitish Kumar, I was a little bit disappointed with him taking that risk against Rashid. He generally was playing nicely down the ground, and he looked like we said it in the comm box at the halfway point didn't we, Saiyami, that he looked like he was the key to controlling that innings and trying to establish something. So to see him straight after that halfway break try something extravagant like that, and I'm not sure he was picking it. And that's what some people do. I mean, I certainly know I used to, against Murali, I couldn't pick him, so when in doubt, just slog sweep.
Just get the sweep out.
Get the brush out. You win and sometimes you don't. But it wasn't really a traditional hard, horizontal bat sweep shot. It's sort of you're getting caught halfway, so it's leaving a gap about that wide for the ball to come through. And Rashid, he's going to bolt through that gap. He's not going to be asked twice.
Well, Michael, if England needs to win this, they need to win in 18.4 overs. One can say that's going to happen and not going to see any surprises.
So. No, I think so. I mean, the USA team have got a couple of decent bowlers, but this could be quite quick. If Phil Salt gets going and he'll just come out, he's going out there with his Ferrari, he'll be flying out the traps. And if he's still there after a couple of overs, this will be quite a quick chase, I would think, because he'll have found his kind of mojo, got the pace of the pitch. He's always going to hit with that wind. So this could be quite a quick finish for the England team. Quite
a quick finish, you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think if the left armour that's done the damage at the top for the US, if he's looking to try to go across Phil Salt, I reckon he might want to make sure the pace is off, because if there's any pace on it, he could travel over cover, over mid-off. But Salt really has got a 360-degree game now. And hopefully this is the perfect little situation for Jos Buttler to walk out, just loosen up, just get a bit more relaxed and get that natural flow going, because he's really got nothing to lose here.
Well, two teams who have a lot to lose are South Africa and West Indies, because if England do qualify with this 18.4 overs, then South Africa, West Indies becomes a knockout. Michael, how unfair is it on South Africa, considering they've won pretty much all their games coming into the Super 8?
Well, I mean, they've won every game, but you could say that they haven't won some of their games well enough. That England game they could have won by a bigger margin, so their net run rate would have been a lot better, and England's would have been a lot worse, so they'd have had to chase potentially this score in 17 overs, so you just never know. It is what it is. What I will say is if England get to the semi-final, I think that was almost the par. I think this white ball team from England and the management have been under a lot of pressure because of what happened in the 50-over World Cup. A lot of analysts were saying that was the worst defence of a World Cup campaign in any sport. Whether it was or it wasn't, they were under pressure going into this one. With the start, struggled against Scotland, they get hammered by the Australians. And I've just said to Gilly actually before we came on, I said how bizarre this tournament is. Yeah. It was only a week or so ago, England were getting hammered by Australia. And we're also saying England were going to not even make it to the Super 8. So now we sit here where Australia might not even make the semi-finals, or England are going to get into the semi-finals. So that's how quickly a T20 tournament can change. But they're in a good position now. They're in a good position to go to the semi-finals. As I said, they've got to the par of what people will expect. And I think that might just take off the shackles, particularly if someone like Jos Buttler. If you're the captain and you're under a lot of pressure, you can feel it inside. And you just desperately want to get through games. And now his team potentially will get through to that semi-final. We might see it now, but I think certainly once we get to the semi-final, I think he'll just unleash himself.
But I will tell you something about tournament play that was drilled into our team through an era where we were successful through a few World Cups, particularly one in South Africa in 2003. We were undefeated going into the semi-final. And John Buchanan, as coach, the night before the game said, is anyone nervous about the myth that you have to lose a game eventually? It's coming. The next game might be it. And I was nervous. I'm a bit superstitious. I went, I'm really scared about it. And he said, it's just a myth. And the thing is, even though we've won every game, at that point it was 9 games or 8 games in a row in that tournament, it doesn't owe you anything. It keeps you alive in the tournament, but it doesn't promise you and doesn't mean that you get 2 shots at it just because you lose one game, you get another go. That guarantees you nothing other than an opportunity to progress. So whether it's South Africa or England, or Australia now, having been undefeated up till this morning, they shouldn't be sitting back going, we're home and hosed, or feel like despondent because a team that's lost a game is more advanced in their position than you are. The game owes you nothing other than an opportunity next time you go out there. So I think that's what teams need to remember.
All right, guys, I'd like to continue with this, but we will do it in the green room because the first ball's already bowled. So let's quickly get in our guesses. We were terribly wrong in the first innings.
65.
In the power play. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking, I'm going to go even higher. I'm going to be bold. I'll go 70.
65, 70, I'll go with 60. A little more conservative. 60, 65, 70 is what we've got. We'll see if we get a winner because we need a winner in today's prediction game. We'll give you all the updates at the 10 over point, so do join us there.